Greetings, Japan fans. In today's show, we're looking at getting ourselves ready for 2020 as leaders. What can and what should we be doing? That's the focus of today. Maishu arigatou gozaimasu, and welcome back to the Leadership Japan series. I'm your host in Tokyo, Dr. Greg Story, your corporate coaching and training guy, the president of Dale Carnegie Training Japan, and the best-selling author of Japan Sales Mastery. We have a new book, also gone bestseller, Japan Business Mastery. We're broadcasting around the world from Minato-ku in the center of Tokyo, the leadership capital of Japan. Now, this podcast brings insights, examples, and experience about leading in Japan. Trust me, it is different here. If you have feedback on the show or have preferences about potential future topics, then leave us your comments. Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe, and share this podcast. Here is our daily product lineup on iTunes. Mondays, the Cutting Edge Japan Business Show podcast. Tuesday, the Presentations Japan series. Wednesdays, the Sales Japan series. Thursdays, the Leadership Japan series. And Friday, the Japan Business Mastery Show podcast. Before we get going, we need today's handy Japanese phrase, which is Uki-uki shite doushita no? Uki-uki shite doushita no? This is when someone turns up and they're looking really happy, really cheerful. You know, maybe they're smiling broadly. They look really like something's gone well for them. And you can ask them, Uki-uki shite doushita no? Uki-uki shite doushita no? Uki-uki shite doushita no? Uki-uki shite doushita no? Why are you so cheerful? Wow, what's happened? You look so cheerful. What's happened? Uki-uki shite doushita no? Uki-uki shite doushita no? Uki-uki shite doushita no? You're looking really happy today. What's happened? Tell us. Come on, what's been happening? Uki-uki shite doushita no? Uki-uki shite doushita no? Uki-uki shite doushita no? This is episode number 338. And today we're talking about leading an intentional leader life in 2020. Leaders are made, not born. Yes, there are some bossy types and charismatic types who bubble to the top and assume the mantle of leadership as their rightful place. For the rest of us, we have to learn about leadership in the angry fire of the real world of work, where the stakes are high, the competition fierce, and the mood unforgiving. In Laurence J. Peter and Raymond Hull's 1969 book, The Peter Principle, we all rise in the hierarchy to our level of incompetence. In other words, we get promoted to a point where the job requirements outstrip our capabilities. Well, that makes sense. But we don't have to be relegated to supremely low levels, though, in the process. We can push ourselves to the highest height possible if we do a few things along the way. Here are some ideas for 2020 on becoming a more skillful leader. Number 1, understand the difference between being a leader and a manager. A manager makes sure all the processes are working correctly. Things get done on time, on budget, without error, and with maximum efficiency. The leader does all of that, plus they invoke passion around the why, set the direction for the team, and build the people. We can be very busy with the process and forget about building the people. If we have no one to do our job, then we have nowhere to move up in the hierarchy. The big bosses will keep us where we are because they can't replace us. Don't worry about creating people who can take your job. We want that because if you become known as a builder of champions, then the organization will give you more scope to build other champions at a higher level in the organization. Number 2, don't forget to work on your job as well as in your job. If you've ever cut down a big tree or cut up fallen branches with an axe, you notice it doesn't take much for the axe blade to become dull and for the cutting to become more of a bludgeoning rather than a cutting exercise. It's the same way with our way of working. Being constantly busy in the business is just cutting and slowly seeping into bludgeoning. We need to sharpen the axe to keep the blade keen, and we need to spend time in quadrant 2 of time management, not urgent, but important. That means time for studying about leading, spending thinking time about the business, planning and strategizing. In 2020, schedule appointments with yourself and protect the integrity of those slots in the same way you would protect that time if it was for a client. Find out more when we come back from the break. Today's episode is brought to you by our public courses, but we also do custom in-house programs. We do these in both languages, Japanese and English. Now, today's program is brought to you by our Step Up to Leadership program. Next one is the 27th of January, and also our Leadership Training for Managers course starts May 19, 7-week course, starts on May 19, runs for 7 weeks, every week, 3.5 hours. Well, Step Up to Leadership, great little course for people who are going from being a player to becoming a leader. This is how they bridge out of the two, because player responsibility, leader responsibility, totally different. How do you understand what you're supposed to be doing? Don't try and work it out by yourself. Don't put your people in situations where they've got to work it out through trial and error. Give them the training, then they will hit the ground running. They will know exactly what they need to do because I've done this course. They will learn about their communication needs, their coaching needs, their performance assessment needs. They'll know what their role is. They will be producing from the get-go. Step Up to Leadership, 27th of January. That is not that far away. Get in and book that up now. If you need to go deeper, Leadership Training for Managers, excellent course. That's May 19. It starts 7 weeks long. Very, very deep course. Very, very comprehensive. Most leaders in Japan got no training. They just age and stage. They're now the leader. They haven't got a clue, really, about what professional leadership is. Get them on the program so they will know. They will learn all the things they need to know about leading. This is the program for them. May 19th starts, 7-week long program. This is the one for that group. Now, our website is full of useful resources. Go to enjapan.dalekenny.com. Email me. I'm at greg.story@dalekenny.com. If you like learning and watching videos, we have got 870, 880, I'm not even sure, so many over there now. That's at Japan Dale Kenny TV on YouTube. We release 2 TV shows every week on YouTube. The Cutting Edge Japan Business Show, that's the premier business show in Japan, comes out every Monday, Tokyo time. And Fridays, we have the Japan Business Mastery Show. Get my book, Japan Sales Mastery, the Bible for selling in Japan, and my other book, my new book, also bestseller, Japan Business Mastery. Welcome back. Number 3, delegate your work to your subordinates. This is a double whammy exercise because it builds capability in your future leader bench and gives you quadrant 2 time. When people are being considered for promotion, those higher in the food chain want to know they will have a safe pair of hands at the wheel. They're looking for people with experience at that level, except how do you get that required experience if you are busily working away at the level below? The answer is delegation. By delegating tasks to your successor group, they can speak about their experiences of doing their boss's job when they are being interviewed for the post. When you sell it like this, your subordinates will welcome the chance instead of being sullen and resentful about having to do the boss's job. Number 4, keep harping on about the why long after you are sick of hearing about it. We tell people why we are doing what we are doing, and that is that, or so we think. People just don't get it, believe it, follow it, absorb it, integrate it, or develop upon it from just one hearing. As a leader, you need to build a culture where the why is front and center of the decisions being taken, the strategies being formed, and the execution piece of how we do the business. You will get sick of hearing about it, but keep making reference to it. You need to drive it into people's work habits and the fabric of their thinking about their tasks. One telling won't cut it. The new year is a fresh chance for some fresh thinking. Break free of the mental bonds we've enveloped ourselves in over the last few years. Let's spend some time determining just what we want and how we're going to get there. Bring your A game to 2020, and life as a leader will get a lot better. Thank you for joining the Leadership Japan series. If you found the program useful, and tell your family, friends and colleagues, don't forget to rate, review, subscribe and share this podcast. You can email me at greg.story@dalecunningham.com. Lots of great stuff on our website, enjapan.dalecunningham.com. Until the next episode, take what you thought valuable, put it into action, because idea application is what makes winners winners, so be one of them. Remember, I'm your corporate coaching and training guy here in Japan, ready to help you grow your business.